Hello and welcome. Janet Beckers here with your wonderful web TV tip of the week, and today I'm answering a question from one of the members of our community, Zara Game. Now Zara asks, what are the 3 biggest mindset blocks or challenges that I've had to overcome, and what did I do to overcome them? Look, this is such a great question, and what I've decided to do is I'm going to break this up into 3 videos so that I can give you enough value for each of those major blocks that I've had. So let me share with you number 1. The biggest thing that I had to overcome was the idea that to receive money in order to giving help was wrong. Why on earth would somebody think that? Well, it comes back to my background. You see, I wasn't born an entrepreneur. I didn't grow up in a family where, we were business people. I didn't go into corporate or into retail or into any kind of business as part of my career where I learnt about the value of exchange of money for service. I was a nurse. For decades, I was a nurse. The core part about being in nursing is caring, to give. Then from nursing, I became a nursing lecturer. And my approach was very much the same because I gave to my students to help them to be able to achieve their goals. I was going to get my pay anyway. So if you're coming from some kind of health or giving profession, this is probably a hurdle that you're going to have, and it's going to be really, really difficult. Or if you come where you've been conditioned that you are there to help, then that can be difficult. And also if you've been an employee where you're going to get paid anyway, it can be very difficult for you to be able to put a barrier between giving before you need to receive money. So how did I get around that idea that it was okay to receive money before I give? So let me see, I'll show you how I've done that. I've 3 things that I've put into place, and I'll tell you what, it wasn't easy. It really was not easy. The first one was to acknowledge that if I could only give a little bit of time to somebody, sure, I can help them, but it's not really going to solve their big problems. It's not going to help them to reach their goals. In order to do that, I need to spend longer with them, and we need to both be committed to the process. So it's doing a disservice to them to throw help at them for free, but I can't keep on doing it because there's only so much time that I've got available to do that. So that was my number 1, that it's actually a disservice to not be able to put people into some kind of program where I'm going to get the best results. That was number 1. The second thing that I had to put into place was to keep in mind that there are other people who depend on me for me to actually make my business work. You see, if I'm not asking for what I am worth as part of my business, if I am giving away everything I'm doing for free, I don't have a business. So then I'm not making the money that I should do, and there's an opportunity cost with that. I could go and get a job, okay? Which is great. That is perfectly fine to have a job where you're going to be having a regular income. And your family, your lifestyle is going to be dependent on that. So if I'm not willing to make my business into a profitable business, go and get a job, girl, because there are people who are relying on you. For me, that was a bit of a wake-up call. The third one is that I also think about other people who are investing money with me. So, for example, I have this wonderful program, Wonderful Web Leaders, and these are the people who pay, a decent sum of money to be able to work closely with me. And how would they feel if I gave a lot of my mentoring time away for free or at a very, very low cost to somebody else? Wouldn't they feel ripped off? What if you don't have somebody like your Wonderful Web Leaders? If you're just starting out, think about your potential client. When I first started out, I didn't really have anybody paying me a lump sum of money every month, so it didn't take very long actually. before that happened, and I would have people saying, you know, how much for me to be able to have an hour or so of your time, I thought, well, this is going to be a disservice to my future perfect client that is going to be paying me for the consulting that I am worth. It's not fair to them. So I have to have my imaginary really great client, and I don't want to rip them off. So that's 3 ways that I was able to overcome that mindset. Number 1, what is going to be best for that client is going to be some ongoing support. Number 2, who is relying on me to bring in the income? If I can't bring in the income, go and get a job. Number 3 is, who am I ripping off by giving away my information for free when my existing higher-end clients or potential ones, they have paid for that right. So don't give it away. So that's my number 1 big mindset challenge that I had to overcome, and how I did that. I would love to hear from you. Is this something that you really struggle with? I know a lot of people really struggle with this, and it's not an easy thing to be able to change. So any tips that you've got below, please share them, because I know a lot of people will really benefit from that. And I'll come and join the conversation. Bye.